to the greatest of the greatest. A podcast that you never knew you needed. With interviews from people you have never met, or maybe you have once or twice. Asking questions and knowing more than you want to know about them. You are listening to Full Buddy Cast.
All right. Well, everyone, thanks for listening. This is just a random episode. This is where we bring in guests, bring in people that I know that I may not know too well. Perhaps I may not even have any sort of like, hey, remember back in the day type of conversation. But through Facebook, through Eden Claw Discussion Board, through Full Buddy Cast, and just running into people, I jive with a few people. I also like to learn about people as well. And so I've got Homer Robertson on today on the mic. Homer, give a what up.
What up?
So I'll be asking some questions, and I also have kind of a co-host in this. Mark's always interested in doing more, and he's always bugging me in the sense of, in a good way, which is like, hey, buddy, can I get on, or can I just help out in any way? He's very faithful when it comes to the live recordings. I give him a hard time, but I feel like we can, and he can give me a hard time back. But I appreciate Mark. Herbert Schmidt is also on the mic.
What up?
And so this is just your random episode when you're just talking, just chatting it up. So we're going to learn about Homer today. We're going to get into his kind of his background just a little bit, what happened after high school, kind of catch up with his life, what's he doing now. He's also got some endeavors that he's currently doing as well. So we'll be learning that. Mark will jump in at some times to kind of keep that conversation rolling. And appreciate you guys joining us. So real quick, I got to do my ads. I got to read my ads real quick. So, hey, go down to Cole Street Brewery. Check it out. It's 1627 Cole Street. Wear a Full Buddy Cast gear. Mention the Brouhaha podcast that comes out every Monday. Also, go to Mazatlan as well. Go say hi to Andy. He'll hook you up. Mention the podcast. And then Bordeaux Wine Bar. Go say hi to all the people down there. There's several people. Corey, Robin, John, Kim, Sid. You got plenty of people that you can say hi to and mention the podcast as well and get a discount. Let me throw out the Patreons as well. Appreciate all the Patreon subscribers. Those Patreon members are Desi B, Holly Graff, Cassie, Casey, Eric, Kellen, Seth, my brother Adam, as well as Amanda and Ira, who just recently jumped on there because of a live recording. Got to meet him. That was pretty cool. So finally, the final ad is I just want people to know $25 every half an hour. Come down, record your voice, and I'll email you I'll also edit it a bit, get the background noises out and everything, and then email you so you have your own type of recording. Now, this recording you can start your own podcast with. I won't air it, so it's all for you. Unless it's a good one and you want me to air it, sure, I'll air it. That's cool. The other one is like people that I've talked to recently when they've lost a loved one. They always miss the voice. Now, they have the photographs, they have the video, but they miss that voice that again, it's one of the five senses you're hearing. And so you get to hear that voice again. Another thing, I think Homer and I, we're going to talk about what he did. He also recorded with his 10-year-old, and he's like, yeah, you hear that voice and you want to hear those, you might ask him a list of questions. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite cereal? What's your favorite whatever? And you hear that giggle, you hear that laugh, you hear that voice, and then do those same questions again 3 years down the road and ask them, and you get to hear that voice again, and then, hey, revisit that as well. One day you're gonna wish you could listen to that loved one's voice again. So hit me up, DM me, message me, and I appreciate you guys. So let's jump right in. Homer, welcome, Homer the Vet.
Yes,
the man, the myth. Don't be all shy on me now.
I won't.
You got your own podcast, dude. You got your own thing. Yeah. I like listening to your episodes. Now I got to be honest. Everyone says this to me. Hey, I don't listen to everyone. And I get it. People are busy. I haven't listened to every one, but I have listened to a couple of them. Let me set the stage on this podcast, guys. It's always evolving. It's always changing. He's upgrading his equipment. He's trying new things. But he mostly records from he started out recording from his phone. We'll talk about that. But what I like about it is it's on his fishing boat. And he's got his boy Troy Is that
Yeah.
the nickname, right?
Yeah.
My boy Troy?
Your boy Troy.
Your boy Troy.
Yeah, he's from Alaska, so we talk about Alaska a lot on the podcast as well.
Part of Alaska.
Nome?
Your microphone needs to be for whatever reason. It's
down.
you may have to tighten that. I don't. Or maybe
It needs some Enzite.
No free ads. So, no, I'm kidding. So anyway, but he's from Alaska, and so you'll hear the podcast. You'll put it in your ears, put those headphones in, and you'll start going, "Oh, I hear the birds chirping. I hear a little bit of the wind rustling. I hear some of that the water kind of slapping against the boat a little bit, and the rustling around and casting and the reeling in, and then he's just kind of chatting it up." I'm telling you, if you're wanting to just kind of get that full type of, you just feel like you're on a boat again, and you feel like in its still waters. It's a pretty calm lake, and so anyway, and they just talk about the most random stuff too. That's another cool thing about it. It's just random conversation, which a lot of people enjoy. I like random conversation. So anyway, I want to. It's called the
TackleBox Talk.
TackleBox Talk.
Yeah.
And you got some gear, you got some merch, you got stickers.
I got some stickers.
There you go.
I'll give you a couple.
I'll put it right there.
Yes,
put one
sir.
right there on that.
Got 'em in my pocket.
The sticker refrigerator. Right on, dude.
Yep.
Excellent.
Can I have one for the bottom of my shoe?
This guy. Your shoes leak, huh?
Yeah.
All right, Homer. So let's fill us in. You went to Enumclaw High School.
Yes, I graduated in 2003.
2003. I was a senior. You were a freshman. Yeah. And then what happened after high school?
Went to basic training in Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Hot and muggy. Then I went to AIT up in Virginia, Richmond area.
Hot and muggy?
No, it was colder. Like we actually had to do our last PT test in the snow at 5 a.m. So that was interesting, running in the snow. Then from there, I tried calling my National Guard unit a bunch of times, and they weren't answering, so we thought that was weird. So we drove down there on like a Wednesday or something when we knew they'd be open, and nobody was there. Door was locked. We're like, what's going on? So we waited about a week. Then about 2 days before Christmas, I get a phone call, and they say, you got to come to Fort Lewis the day after Christmas. You're getting ready to deploy to Iraq.
So you're in Richmond at this time?
No, I was already home.
You're already back home?
Right.
Oh, you're calling,
trying to
checking
figure
figuring out,
no one's answering.
And then all of a sudden
they just tell me I'm going to war.
So you had 3 days to kind of, we said, what, that was 3 days before Christmas?
Right.
So about 4 days to kind of figure everything out. Holy cow.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind at that time? Were you excited, or were you like, wow, that's crazy? Or what
This was quick.
So thank you,
I was
Santa.
only 19. So
Thank you, Santa.
I was only 19, so
You're
spur of the moment.
spur of the moment.
Fresh out of high school. Let's go kind of thing.
And so while you're trying to figure this all out, what was your family thinking about it? Were they like, oh no, like were they worried about you, or were they like excited for you? Like what were?
All the above.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because every Christmas Eve we used to have dinner at my grandma's house, and nobody wanted to say prayers for dinner that night. So I just jumped in and I kind of did like a whole spiel saying how it could be my last Christmas. So I had everybody at the dinner table crying. It was kind of emotional, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, that's a very unknown area that you're going to. You posted a picture recently of both your grandmas at the deployment.
That was when our going away ceremony. They did a big shindig in the Tacoma Dome and sent us all to go to war.
Wow.
For our families to cheer us on and all that.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a very, very sweet picture. At the time, you don't probably think much of it. You know, you just take pictures with your family members. But was that the last picture that you had of both of them in the same?
I think so. I'd have to go back. And
yeah,
look.
that's you don't think about it, and then next thing you know, life's moved on, and those memories are memories. So,
Which is all the more reason to record with Travis.
yeah,
and get it out of the
another
way.
ad for. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. So, if So did you know that how long your deployment was going to be?
Yeah, they told us a year.
1 full year.
Yes.
What did it end up being?
So if you count like the training before we actually went over, it was about 14 months for me. But the rest of the unit, I think, was about 18.
And then did you get deployed twice, or was
Just
it
once.
just once? And then once you got deployed, how much longer did you have with the National Guard?
I did a 6x2, 6 years. Then the 2 was an active reserve where they can call you anytime. But I ended up getting I got that waived once I got out because I got a medical discharge.
Medical discharge
For PTSD.
Where did you end up going? Like, what was your where were you
Southern Iraq.
sent to?
Southern Iraq and most of Kuwait.
And what was your main?
So when we got there, I was supposed to be a refueler, but there was like 20 of us, and they were like, no, you guys got way too many of you. So they made a bunch of us join different platoons in our unit. So we had to learn how to do jobs on the fly. So I had to learn how to be a scout and like drive Humvees and do escorts.
So
and
being a scout, like, what does that mean?
So we had like our Humvees always loaded with our gear. So if the border got attacked of Kuwait, we'd have to jump on the Humvees and smash like an hour to where it was and try to help whatever.
Did that
happened.
happen?
No, we got lucky because we also had part of our unit was at the border.
Yeah.
So we got lucky. It never happened.
And so this is obviously where Homer the Vet,
Right.
the nickname, came from. We'll get to
Right.
that in a bit. So you got any stories of just like things that you would want to share? I mean, could you like? I guess what I'm asking is this. I don't want to get to the. I'm like, oh, yeah, war stories. But like, sometimes, at least when a lot of us don't get to travel across the world, especially on a mission from your country. That's like, hey, this is what we want you to do. Some of us did other things. And so when I walk outside and it's a summer sunny day and I may catch a whiff of like the spring air, it'll bring back memories of just like, my early 20s. And so for your early 20s, is there anything that brings back any memories? Is it some sort of, if it's hot, was it really hot over there?
Yeah, it was really hot, extremely hot and dry, way worse than here.
Way worse?
Yeah.
Now, so does it anything just kind of like pop back and like make you feel like, hey, I'm back in?
The sounds of helicopters.
Oh, really? Sounds of helicopters will do that.
Yeah.
Is that like a daily thing when you're over there?
Like when I was there, it kind of was.
Just daily, just
some of it,
just thumping in the background.
From the Chinooks. That's the helicopters where I seen the stuff that made my head.
Oh, really?
Crazy.
So
I was doing landing zones.
Should I not be talking about? Is this
No,
some of
you're
the stuff
good.
that we should be talking about?
No, I talk about most of it in my music anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say you're pretty open about everything.
Right.
It feels like so. If there's anything you don't want to talk about, let's not talk about it.
It's the bonus track, Travis.
It's the bonus track. I like
works.
that. Food wise, what's the food like over there? What were you eating?
So we had like a mall, they kind of called it. So they had like a Subway. They had the Chow Hall. So at first, like the first month, every Wednesday was steak and lobster night, and like the first month it was amazing. Like we loved Wednesdays, but then like I don't know if they fired the cook or whatnot, because then it just became crap. Like,
Just cereal night?
no, it was the same food. It was just the lobster would be frozen in the middle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like the steak would be burnt.
Oh, so it was just like
we were like we started just going to like the Chow Hall where you could buy food.
Gotcha.
After a while.
Gotcha. And then when you came back, was it a relief to come back? Was it nice to come back? Did you feel that like relief of like pressure? Like, okay, I don't have to deal with that right now. Kind of
A little bit of both.
just a second.
I could get it if you want.
No, I'm going to go figure out why people are.
You have been served. Get served some papers. That'd be epic, man.
What do you mean?
That'd be clown.
Dude, how funny would that be? Just get served right on a podcast. I said, how funny would it be if you got served right on a live podcast?
That'd be great. That would be great. There's no reason for me to be served. All right. So any sense of relief? Any sense of like I'm coming back home, or did you feel like you should be back there?
There was a sense of relief when I got home, but I was young and dumb when I got home, so I was already in a relationship when I got over there.
Oh yeah.
And so had a kid pretty quick after that.
Yeah.
Quick marriage, quick divorce.
But the kid lasts a lifetime.
Right.
Good kid?
Yeah.
Good. How old now?
Good. 14.
14 years old. Holy smokes.
Right.
Where do you want me to transition to? Do you want to still talk about Iraq, or do you want to move to something else? Do you want to move a little bit after that? What do you want to do?
Go a little bit after that. Cool. So after Iraq, I had little jobs here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I worked at a Regal movie theater in Bonnie Lake. Probably saw Mark in there 1,000 times because I know he's a movie buff.
I was probably in there 1,000 times.
So you saw this dude all the time?
Yeah. Then I remember I seen a bunch of guys and girls in there, and I'm like, this is embarrassing. I'm 20 and I work in a movie theater.
This is after Iraq?
Yeah.
So you were wait. You were in Iraq at what age?
19 to 20.
Shut up. I was picturing you like 22, 23.
No, I was
you
a
were a
baby.
baby, man.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So now you're like, you come back, and now it's like you were doing some cool shit, in a
Right.
sense. Some very responsible shit.
Right.
Some
Helped
things-
me grow up a lot.
Yeah,
Because I was hanging out with the wrong people, so I probably would have been like them.
Been down that road.
Right.
But then you come back, you have to get a job, you have to make
Right.
money somewhere.
Right.
So you go apply at the movie theater, and then
So
were
I was working at the REI warehouse too.
yeah.
So that was like wee hours so I'd get off at like 2 every day, and then I'd work at the movie theater like evening time.
Did you ever get to the point where someone, maybe some guy like in their 40s was like your manager, and he's like talking down to you and like talking to like you don't know what you're talking about, and you're like, bro, have you been to war? Because I have. And you're talking.
I only had to do that on the basketball court.
Talking some trash?
Yeah.
Oh,
At
man.
a good old Dwight Garrett.
Really?
Yeah.
Somebody was like getting in.
Yeah, get out of my face and said stuff, and I just brought that up just to try to get them to shut up.
And did they shut up?
They were still an Enum Claw after high school kind of thing.
Did they shut up?
Kind of, sort of. I still see him in the casino all the time.
Do you really? Does he avoid you when he sees you?
No, he'll chop it up.
Can we name drop this person?
No,
I'm
name
kidding.
dropping.
I'm kidding.
Dude, actually, let me tell you this story. Because this is why I'm not name dropping people anymore. And I never have. Don't really want to unless
Is it
I
the
know them.
Beetlejuice story?
No, this happened this happened Saturday. No, Friday. I go to Friday or Saturday, I go to Cedars with Andy Cardenas, and it was like bang bang. This one kid comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, you're that guy from the Enum Claw discussion board, aren't you? You created." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah. How's it going?" Very positive conversation. One where he felt like, he's like, "Hey, it's an entertaining thing. That's cool," kind of a thing. No joke. 30 seconds later, there's this other guy that comes up and says, "Hey, someone told a story about me on Facebook, or not on Facebook, on your podcast." And I've done a ton of podcasts.
Right.
I don't know, I'm like 300 something episodes. I don't know everybody and every story and everything. I don't have a good memory. This guy I recognized, but I'm at that age now where
What was it about?
a girl had kind of put him on blast because they used to date, and he may have said some things. Now she never mentioned his name, but I guess some of the friends listened and knew, "Hey, bro, you need to listen to this. She's talking about you." So this dude, I bought him a drink. I'm like,
For the record, bro, it was not on my session.
might have been, actually. Who knows?
I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
I don't know.
Sounds too important for mine.
But yeah, I was like, "Hey, man." And he was drunk. When people are drunk,
Right.
he's like doing the whole like
Racquetball.
he's like pretending like he's got a shib, and he's like kind of like getting me with his thumb, like,
Okay,
but he's joking, but he's also drunk, he's aggressive, and he's mad, and he's finally get to see me after all these years of when this girl put him on blast. And so he's like, "You're lucky you didn't say my name, or I'd get my lawyer involved." And I'm like, first off, who's got a lawyer? I don't think anyone's got a lawyer.
Pro bono case, because it's a done deal. There's no way you could lose. They're going to take that case for free. All the money they make is, they're going to get it in their pocket.
And so then I'm like, dude, I wasn't being malicious. Like, I didn't know. Sometimes I let people talk and I kind of zone out. So I don't even know what people are saying. And so anyway, I apologized to that guy. I bought him a drink. I offered some of my Cedars nachos to him.
That's an olive branch, dude. Plus, there's probably olives in there.
Anyway, so
that's funny.
So yeah, I don't know, how do we? Oh yeah, because then you might run into some of these people, and that's why we don't name drop. So,
dude, maybe he's serving you papers.
Anyway, you've got so you then are working these odd jobs, making money.
Right. If you want to call it money.
Got a kid, got to figure, all that. And now
so I was 22 as we
I feel like you've done so much in
like
Forrest
4
Gump,
years,
dude.
He's like Forrest Gump.
He is.
So 22 by then. I already
it's like a box of chocolates, bro.
Dude.
I already applied at the casino, and it took them like a year and a half to hire me.
Oh,
which
really?
I still don't get why, but whatever.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I never got an interview at a movie theater or a video store.
Well, yeah, you really wanted one, actually.
Like, I would have been perfect there, dude.
You would have been. You'd been like that librarian that knows all the books, but you'd be a movie store instead.
Yeah, exactly.
So now what?
So then I got the job at the casino.
Been there for how long now?
14 long years. No, it's not long. It's like a flash. I still feel like it was yesterday sometimes.
So it's like Narnia time?
Yeah, in a way.
Narnia time.
Like, if there wasn't sports to, like, let me know what time of year it was, or no...
Just a blur.
Like, it'd be a blur.
What's,
And the whole name-dropping thing.
It's almost like you're in a club galaxy far, far away.
Right. But... That's funny because that's the name of the galaxy. That's the name of the club.
Wink, wink.
He knows what he's doing.
I know he does. He does.
Marking his puns. All right.
I don't miss work in graveyard at all.
Well, here's the crazy thing: is one of the, and we'll get into your other stuff, but let me share some casino stories. So I would walk by you. Now I know your sisters,
Right?
And so I remember you as like the younger, the younger one, right?
Sure.
And so. Anyway, so it's like you kind of know the guy, you kind of like recognize him, give him a what up. But at the same time, like I'm like, that's Homer. I know it's Homer. A, of all, because I recognize him, and B, not many people have the name Homer.
Right.
So I was like,
only legends.
So it's like, I recognize that guy. Anyway, I always wanted to say hi. I always wanted to be like a what up to you, just because I knew you, but I kind of knew you,
right?
But also I didn't. So until it wasn't until we started like past couple of years where the podcast and then the Club discussion board and then listening to your podcast, you tag me in everything, which is great. And I'm fine with that. Okay. And I think there was a point. It was Jason Fisher,
right? Shout
out to Jason. Jason's like, bro, I love that you tag me in this, but clean up your language, kind of a thing. And I was, I thought that was funny because I was kind of thinking the same thing.
I don't edit anything.
You just go with it.
I just go with it and throw the whole thing out there.
Yeah, which is another thing that I really like about the podcast aspect that you got going on is that you don't edit so that's why it feels organic.
You raw dog it, man.
Definitely,
as Ira would say, you raw
dog it.
Right.
But anyway. So the casinos, now I see him every once in a while. In fact, that's why he's on right now. It's been an open invite forever. I've also never, when someone says, hey, I want to be on, it's like, yeah, open invite. But I'm not going to be like chasing you down. It's on your terms. If you want to be on, then message me and then we'll figure out a time to get you on. Nothing against you, but I just am busy where I don't want to hound people, and if people are just being nice about it too, I'd love to be on your podcast. But
Lots of people say that, but there's no follow up.
Right. And so Homer followed up. That's why he's on. And I'm happy to have him on it. Again, always an open invite. Okay. So I saw him like last week or whatever. Right. But okay, so now let's talk about your passions. Let's talk about your podcast. Let's talk about your rap career, all that fun stuff. When did you podcast is later. Let's get into the rap. You did rap before all this.
So Jason Fisher is actually the main person that got me rapping back in the high school days because we'd always freestyle and all that. I wrote a song years ago. I kind of wish I still had it. It was when Shaq and Kobe was still in the Lakers, and I called it the Fakers, talking about how there's no lakes in L.A. There's only swimming pools, you fools. Something that was part of it.
I like that. Okay.
So, yeah.
I like that little
grudge I had against the Lakers, like everybody else from the Sonic fans around here.
Yeah. What about helicopters?
So, are you then? So that was kind of where you got your taste. Now your style is a little different than other people's style, right? You rhyme, and then you don't rhyme, and then you do rhyme. Like it's kind of this thing that goes kind of in and out, in and out, in and out. And sometimes it's not like on beat per se. It hits the beat, then it kind of goes off a little bit, and it's on beat. What did you describe? When did you like find that style?
Probably. So like trying to keep, because of the whole military thing.
Yeah.
That's what kind of makes it change a lot.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's how cadences are sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
So it wasn't an actual style that you, were working on. It's just because of...
Influence.
Yeah.
So, like, I got a couple songs out there from, like, Nas is, like, one of my favorite rappers.
Yeah.
So, he did a song years ago called One Mic.
Yes.
And so I did one voice. So it's kind of the same kind of rhyme patterns and beat patterns throughout the whole thing.
Okay.
And like one of my newest songs I just did like last week was a remix to one of his songs as well with the same beat and all that.
So do you go off the top of your head when you remix some of his stuff, or do you sit down and write it out?
So I want to say out of the 30 songs I have recorded, I want to say 20 of them are probably written. Then the other 10 are freestyle.
Freestyle. Now, are you using your own beats for all of it? Because I know that I've seen you post like little Instagram and Facebooks of you like working on another beat, like you're like in like Pro Tools or whatever it's called.
I use I just look up beats on BeatStars, or I like when people talk about beats on Facebook, I'll hit them up. So my old coworker, she used to work at the casino. She just posted a beat randomly from SoundCloud that her son made, and so I listened to it, and I just asked her out of the blue, was like, you think your son would like let me rap on his beat? And she thought I was kidding at first. And then I'm like, no, I'm serious. So then she sent me his like Instagram name. So I started following him on Instagram and talking to him. And so like 2 songs out of the way, I got 2 songs with his beats on Spotify already.
Nice. So then you've got permission to use his
right
beat. Do you have to like shout him out?
Yeah, like
what's his name? If people want to
Ooga
listen
Booga is his beat name on SoundCloud. So like in the videos, like all my videos towards like the end of the video, I'll have like a picture with like on top of a picture where I'm like thanking the person that gave me the beat or jumped on the song with me and all that.
So when it comes to when he says videos, it's not like a music video,
just credits.
But well, no,
right.
It's like a picture that kind of moves and kind of goes.
Yeah.
Like it's. How did you do that? Like I don't even know how to do that. Like, how do you like got these?
So I do everything on my phone.
Oh,
except for record the music now because I got like my own little studio set up.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like all the visual stuff, it's 100% done on my phone.
So then, is it you on your break at home, like when
a little bit of both,
where you're just kind of like putting stuff together,
right?
I'll do
I'll do a lot of it. Yep.
Hey, the truth is, man,
I ain't gonna lie. I've written a couple songs on my lunch break.
Just flushes
on
them,
the crapper,
flushes
just
them out.
flushing the flows out. Yep.
Dude, that could be a track name.
Yeah, it could be.
Flushing the flows out. I love it.
Flash flood.
That's great.
Flash flood.
So are you wanting to like get it out there? Because I feel like you have a message for your
So it's
lyrics.
pretty much to help veterans like myself cope with all the stuff we're going through. That's part of it, but then hopefully the right people might hear it to help the government take care of veterans better.
Yeah. So it's like a message with a mission.
Right.
That's cool. So it's something that's a hobby. It's fun.
Right. And
But
it's
also
like,
support.
it's like counseling for myself as well.
So then, are you super like raw on it? Like, do you air whatever you feel? Like, in a sense, like
For the most part.
do you ever have to like censor yourself a little bit? I know
So I've only had to start censoring myself because my one of my kids' moms went to court and said I couldn't name drop them.
I gotcha.
Anymore,
So
'cause I did on the first ever song that I did.
But that's a kind of different kind of censoring. It's like
Right.
you're not censoring like how you feel. You're just
Oh,
censoring
yeah,
who
just-
you, yeah.
yeah.
That's different.
Yeah. So, and then when it comes to like your podcast, you kind of got to do the same thing.
No, I haven't yet.
So people want the raw
They want the
material.
raw version, they're getting it. That's why it's called TackleBox Talk. You're fishing, telling two guys fishing for most of the podcast.
Two guys, one box.
Right.
What gave you the idea to? That's a great idea. Like, what gave you the idea to be
So
like,
we were just fishing one summer, like on Bumping Lake above over Chinook Pass, going towards Yakima, and we were just bullshitting one day, like on the lake, and so then I was like, "That's cool." Then one day I just recorded one out of the blue and didn't even tell my buddy that I recorded it, and then like I set up the whole thing and sent it to him, and we were like, "We should just record random conversations every time we go fishing or when we're just sitting outside the house playing video games, sitting by the bonfire."
Why not? You know what I mean? It's you got funny memories to look back on, and you don't have to try to remember them.
Right.
That's what I tell Travis. I go, even if they don't get aired, it's cool to just hit the record button,
right?
Because you got it in case there's something you want to remember.
Right.
That's true.
No, it's true. There's one episode. There's a few episodes of people that I've had to tell them, listen, we can't air it. A, it might have been bad quality. B, maybe the content is just, I don't feel as comfortable because, I mean, as real as I want to be, it gets into, there's some things that kind of come up that you're like, either A, I'm not as educated as I should be on some topics and conversations.
Or it's really personal.
Or it's super personal.
But again, it's cool just to hit the record button because, again, it's like those situations like you were talking about.
Yeah.
It's not even an advertising ploy. It's legit. Like, I don't know anybody that doesn't go, hey, I wish I had that conversation I had with my loved one.
Right.
So even if you invited 2 family members, it doesn't have to be one. You invite 2 family members on where they could just shoot the shit and you're recording and just kind of just keeping it flowing.
Right.
Then they got it.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you bring on guests sitting in the fishing boat?
I've had a couple, not on the boat yet. We're
Yeah.
trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
So
Tie them up.
What's your
pontoon
boat's
it?
name?
I haven't named my boat yet, but I do have the name of. I got stickers set up to put on the side of the boat where it's going to say TackleBox Talk all big
sweet.
on the side of the boat between my logo and my buddy's logo.
And where can people find you other than Facebook? Do you have a Facebook page?
The lake.
He said the lake. So Homer the Vet on YouTube, that's where all my music is, and I put a lot of my podcasts on there too.
Right.
But I also have a separate one.
Yeah.
YouTube channel that was going to be for just like music recording in my house.
Yeah.
But then that kind of like subside. So then I just changed the name to TackleBox Talk.
And where's that going to...
It's on YouTube too.
So are you on Spotify anywhere?
Not for TackleBox Talk yet.
Do you want me to help you kind of
Yes,
get that
I was
going?
gonna ask you on
Absolutely, dude. Yeah. Anyone out there that wants to do a podcast or anyone needs podcast help, hey, go figure it out yourself if you want. If not, come talk to me. I can kind of point you in the right direction. So absolutely, after this, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I got all my music for the most part is on Spotify already.
Yeah.
So I just don't know how to like go separate.
I'll show you. I'll show you. It's super simple, but
thing.
it might cost like $5 a month. You know,
No
so,
worries.
like anything, right? So, not me. You're not paying me, but I'll show you where to do it.
You do work at a casino.
Dude, yeah, hook it up, dude. The other day, I've been. Here's the thing. I love Vegas. This is not a plug for the
I've never
Muckleshoot-
been.
the Muckleshoot
Oh,
Casino.
you're missing
I've never
out.
been like 4
I'm
years
almost
ago.
40 and I've never been to Vegas, dude.
Wow.
Dude, I'm telling
You
you,
gotta go.
you would be fun. You would be fun. You would
I'll
have
blow it
fun.
on the fucking dice all night long.
Well, I don't know about that.
We should do. We should have a We should do a. We should do a big podcast down in Vegas.
That'd be fun, man. I've
We
thought
got to do a
how to
podcast
do
on the
it.
couch roof or the roof.
That'd be cool
Oh,
too.
you
I
know
want to
what?
do it. I'm down.
Okay, so here's the thing, guys. Let me just since
It's
I've
going to
got
croak in 2 years, man. I don't know how many more winners it could take.
just a second. So these two dudes here. Let me just share this with you, okay? I am a guy who has like very little time. I'm like almost like I'm maxed. I have to manage my time really well. I was terrible at managing my time. I've gotten better over the years. Mark needs his own podcast. I had Amanda Keating hit me up and say, "Hey, Mark needs his own pod." I'm like, "Listen, I'm releasing Mondays. I'm releasing Thursdays and Fridays every week with these shows. I got Tuesdays. I got to throw randoms on there. Wednesday, I got to give people a break every once in a while. The weekends, I don't release at all because no one's going to listen." And so then they're like, "Okay, I get it." And I'm like, "But Mark needs to start his own podcast." In fact, a Mark Homer collab would be absolutely electrifying, even if it was
I need to learn how to fish, so
on the couch,
so
on the
good.
couch, and then on the lake, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, I think I would definitely listen to both of you guys on the same pod. I think, but that's just my own little like thought. So if anyone else thinks that, comment. Hey, do your own pod. You'd be good at it.
I'll bring the Folgers can of worms.
Hey, that works.
So yeah, let's talk about that little bait stuff real quick. Fishing wise, are you using power bait still? Are you using worms and mallows? What are you using? Are you using spinners?
Are you a masturbator is what we're asking.
Not really. So surprisingly,
How about a hooker?
I'm a hooker on the weekends. We call it.
Let's keep
Hooker
them
on the
coming.
weekends.
How's your pole? Are you a pole dancer where you kind of spin and kind of dance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you
I like it
do
when
you do
it's
casting calls on your boat?
That's where that couch
So-
comes into play.
Right.
That's where you guys merge your guys' two podcasts.
Let's put the couch on the boat.
That's what I was thinking.
Let's strap it down.
Put the couch on the boat.
Before we
That'd be
before we
perfect.
put it down, we'll strap the couch down on the boat
That's
and we'll do a
hilarious.
podcast.
That'd be awesome.
We're doing video footage for that one though.
Yeah.
No, I think that couch is gonna croak in a couple years, dude. Like, I thought it was doing pretty good, and I went up there and sat on it like last weekend, and dude, that thing is hurting, dude.
How long has it been up there now for?
Dude, like 4 years, man. Through like 4 winters, man.
That's crazy. So okay, so talk about so what do you use?
So the trick I learned last year, I'm surprised I never tried it, was just throw the worm on the hook, no sinker, and you just let the worm's weight sink down like when you're on the boat, because then it won't hit the bottom, and then the fish will like swim and look up at it and see it, and then they swim up and just take it.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I just learned that trick last year. I feel like a dumbass.
Who told you that trick?
I just thought of it one
Dude,
day
that Disney Bear did.
But
I just thought of it,
But
because
doesn't
I
the
was
sinker like bring it down?
I was
where it
using the
does?
sinker for hours out on Fish Lake. You know
Yeah.
where that is?
Yes.
I was gonna
Rabbit
say.
Tail. Yeah.
So
Dude, that Disney Bear, you ever seen him? He just casts, and every time he pulls his fishing pole out, he throws a fish in the bucket.
He
does
it
the
wasn't
worm
from
trick,
that.
dude.
So I was out there for hours using sinkers, no bites, like frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is bullshit. So I decided to take the sinker off, winged it with the worm out there, got a fish. Then I just kept doing it. I got my limit in like an hour after.
Now, how much?
using no
I know they
worm
call
sinkers.
it Fish Lake, but actually, how much fish is really in that lake?
So I just drove by it yesterday, matter of fact.
Yeah.
Because we had that extra warm weather that we're not supposed to get in April.
Right.
That screwed up the lake.
What do you mean?
So there's a creek that runs into it.
Yeah.
And so when the creek gets low, there's no water going back into the lake. So it lowers the level of the lake. So like there's cinder blocks where you park at.
Yeah.
And the water's like 10 feet behind the cinder blocks now, so I'd have to carry my boat to the water. When this time last year, the water was past the cinder blocks.
Really?
Almost around my tires where I'd be parked.
I got an idea.
So it emptied the lake?
Yeah, because when the creek dries up, there's no more water going into the lake.
Oh, so it keeps that surface level
Yeah,
up. I
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
I got an idea, Travis.
What?
We'll plan a weekend out at Lake Cushman. He'll
I
bring his
love-
boat, and
dude.
we'll do a live podcast.
I'm down.
That'd be
Collaboration
dope.
with you and him on his boat
I'm
out
down.
at Lake Cushman.
I'm down.
That'd be cool. I've never been to Lake Cushman.
Wait, have you fished on Lake Cushman?
I haven't. I mean, like,
Can you fish? Can you
You
fish?
should
on
be
Lake-
able to.
Yeah,
But isn't it Lake Cushman? Oh no, I'm thinking
I
Lake
didn't even know where
Mayfield.
it
Mayfield
is.
Lake.
I know
It's up by Hoodsport, but
okay.
no, there's the boat launch is like literally right around the corner from where my parents' place is.
Oh, nice.
So as long as you got your like license, I'm sure we
Yeah.
get a guest parking pass. Just go out there. He can bring his boat. We'll record on the boat.
That's a great idea. That's a great
Pretty
idea.
cool.
Hey, so Homer, let's talk fishing for a moment,
Okay.
since we already are. Here's how my typical Saturday went. First off, put everyone in the mindset of this was in like the late 80s, early 80s, late 80s, early 90s. We didn't have streaming. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have Netflix. So if you missed Saturday morning cartoons, you would not see those cartoons for a while.
Right.
Okay. But that's the only day that my dad wanted to fish. So we'd go to Lake 12. We'd go to Fish Lake. We'd even go over to Sun Lakes and fish at Deep Lake over there. And I like Deep Lake over there. Deep Lake over here is nice,
Sucks.
but
I haven't caught a fish
you ain't
out
gonna
of there
catch
in
anything.
20 years.
You can go swim in it.
crazy.
You can go swim in it and have a nice picnic. But you're not catching any fish. So Deep Lake over there, Lake Lenore. I've been around, like, I never did the sea fishing thing, and I don't think I've done it a couple times. I hate it. It's it's cold, it's windy, it's nasty. To me, I mean, other than crabbing, I do like crabbing, depending on where you're crabbing at. But I hated fishing strictly for the point of I was like kidnapped by my parents.
You missed so many episodes of G.I. Joe and My
Yeah.
Little Pony.
Hey, that's good. You guys never had that little device
No.
called the
VCR?
VCR, and you never recorded cartoons
No.
when you were younger?
No,
really?
No. So here I am, waking up Monday for school, Tuesday for school, Wednesday for all of it. Sunday's church, getting up early for church. Saturdays, A, my morning to sleep in, and B, my only morning to watch Saturday morning cartoons. And my dad's like, "Hey, it's Saturday, we're going fishing. We're waking up at 4:30. Get in the truck. We're gonna head out, hit the lake around 5, and then we're fishing for 8 hours." Like, the only cool thing was that I got hot cocoa, and that was it. And then we would go, and we end up catching perch, which you didn't want. I mean, maybe you like perch because, see, you cook stuff. You know how to cook
you gotta know how to
everything.
cook.
But at least you're catching something.
Yeah, but
When
even-
you don't catch
they're like
nothing, that's
they're
what sucks.
They're like that big. But my favorite fishing story for me, Deep Lake. I don't know if you've done Deep Lake out in Sun Lakes or not. No big deal if you haven't. We call this place the Cookie. The reason we call it the Cookie, everyone's got their little nicknames for their little fishing spots too, because they got to remember. Okay, I caught fish here. Well, we got to look at where we're at. Let's give it a nickname. So you look down below, and it looks like that there's a little bit of a cookie. Looks like a big, like a Toll House cookie.
You were just hungry, Travis.
I was hungry.
So are you the Cookie Monster?
I'm the Cookie Monster. And so I throw. My dad's like, "Hey, you can do whatever you want. It's gonna have a line in the water. You want to take a nap? Line in the water. You want to just stare out into the lake? Line in the water." So
I feel it.
is that how we? Is that kind of, yeah? So I cast out there, go, and just let it fall all the way. A little garlic mallow backpack. We call it a backpacking worm. Looked like a worm with a backpack on it. Worm and mallow together, and then just shut off my reel, set it down, take a nap. As I'm laying down, it's like my dad is casting and just slowly reeling. My dad is casting and letting it sit. My mom is doing the same thing. I'm taking a nap. Next thing I know, my pole is just bang! I grab that pole. I'm over here just reeling this puppy in. My brother did the same exact thing. Cast, fall asleep, go take a nap. Just let it sit there. It sits, boom. As I catch my fish, bam, he's got his fish. So he's wrestling his. I'm like 10, he's like 8 or maybe 12 and 10, whatever. And we're just get it in the boat. Biggest fish we've ever caught out of that lake. And my dad was pissed. My dad was so pissed.
Of course, that's the way it always works. The person that wants it more is the one who doesn't get shit. And the person that doesn't even... Hey, dude, that's like my Halloween costume contest, dude. Every time I did a Halloween costume contest, would fucking go all in. It would never win shit, and it'd always be some dildo with a fucking shitty costume, dude.
I've won a Halloween costume contest before.
What did you dress up as?
Homer Simpson.
Freddy Krueger.
Was it-
Easy win.
Not for him.
Well, where were you? Enumclaw?
No, he's always dressed up as Freddy Krueger.
Dude, have you seen my costume?
He put Enumclaw ain't scared of Freddy.
No, but have you seen my Freddy Krueger costume?
No.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it looks
it's dope.
exactly like Robert Englund out of the movie with a signed Robert Englund glove.
Nice.
Where did you get your win at?
I won it down at what was the name of that bar? It's gone. It was
Club Galaxy?
No, it was in Auburn. It was in Auburn, right by Club Galaxy. It's where the
Gators?
No, it's where the Asian buffet is now. Hibachi Grill.
Yeah.
BB McGraw's, was
Something
that
like
it?
that, yeah.
Oh, dude, that's fucking old, man. That's like my Albertsons.
I won it there.
That's great. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I like our flow right now. I feel like our flow's going
Dude, I
pretty
remember
well.
this one time, this guy was at the Crystal when Jim was bouncing, and he was trying to get in a fight with a guy we know, initials TD, but I won't, like, there's nothing bad about this thing. It's
If this
not
guy beats me up in
no.
Cedars...
There's nothing bad. Like, he did nothing wrong to get embarrassed or, get called out for anything. But anyway, it was a guy that we know, and this drunk guy was, like, trying to fight him, and the whole night, he's like, fucking, I work at BB McGraw's, man. You don't want none of this. I work at BB McGraw's, right? And he was just trashed, and he just kept talking all this shit. And then Butch, I'll drop Butch because it was funny, right? But Butch, like, sees this guy getting all fucking amped up, and Butch goes, "You're just jealous because I suck more dick than you." And this guy's like, "What? Fuck you, man!" Like, and he didn't even listen to what he said, and he got offended by it, like.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah, like the guy was like, "Oh no, there's no way you do."
That's funny.
It's good stuff. All right, well, I think we're going to wrap this one up, but we're going to get another one. On the next one, we're going to talk a little bit more about Homer and the connection he has with Mark concerning science class. Right?
Oh.
Dr. P, bro.
Yeah, Dr. P.
And then I've got questions for Homer. And
Tim Allen of Enumclaw. Dr. P. He knows what I'm talking about. You never had Dr. Patrick?
I had I had Bastions. Basting.
Bastings.
Yeah. So I will, isn't it funny, actually, real quick, before we jump off, how these teachers, when you're a kid or even a teenager, you don't think anything of it. Like, you're like, oh, they're a teacher. That's who they are. That's just, that's it. Their entire identity, this teacher. And then you like see them in the grocery store, and then you're like, what are they buying over there?
You know what I'm thinking? What I'm thinking is, I'm like, what is their age right now when they're doing this job? And I'm like, now when I think back, I'm like, when I was that age, I was doing spice in a gas station bathroom. Did they ever do that?
Do you ever see some of the old teachers at you don't have to say names, but please don't say names.
Sometimes I see them at the casino. Very rare.
Do you ever see them like
they don't recognize me for the most part.
There's meth casino gambling, and I'll be the first one to say
Skyway?
I've never done meth. But there's a point if you lose enough money that you do a fast walk. You do the meth addict fast walk where you're just talking to yourself and you're cussing yourself out.
So you got your Bluetooth in,
and you're scratching, and you go to the ATM. You get nothing out of it, and you're like, and you walk out. You lost enough money where you're mad at yourself, you hate yourself, and you look exactly like a meth addict. And I would love to see, and you know what I'm talking about.
I've done it.
Travis, Beetlejuice.
So I did that at Emerald Queen. Except for I actually pulled money out of the ATM like a dumbass. And I said, if I blow this 200, I'm barring myself for life.
So you're not a real meth head.
Did you bar yourself?
No, I was there
you're just a casino meth head.
Yeah, I'm just a casino gambler. So
I'm a casino gambler too. I gamble in casinos.
I was about 600 down.
Yeah. Oh,
pull out another 200. I'm like, if I blow this, I'm done forever.
did you go? But did you?
So,
as a security guard, you know,
I got on a hot streak.
Oh, you brought it back.
So I got back to my 600. Then I was up with like another 4, so I was actually up only 400.
Yeah.
So then I went to Triple Fortune Dragon right in front of the cage, and I'm like, you never went in front of the cage.
I never went on the Dragon.
So I'm like, should I bet $250 or $5? Felt like a fucking movie.
Yeah.
First spin on $250, I won a $2,400 jackpot.
That's amazing.
I know.
I don't think I've ever won $40.
I felt like it was a movie scene.
All right, I got some casino
and
stories.
I was waiting for some guy to jump me. As soon as like I got my cash.
Hey, can you tell us a casino story where somebody bumped some money off you and then like they won like a bunch of money and they just never even like reimbursed you? Like we don't have to.
I'm pretty sure ex-girlfriends did that.
We don't have to name drop anybody, but
have I done that?
No. Where you've had do you ever have that experience? Where,
yes.
Somebody's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?"
Do you know my story?
Yeah.
Yes. That guy gave him some money. Just out of the kindness of my dumb, cold heart.
Beetlejuice.
That is. Now I know what you're talking about. See, this guy over here speaks in riddles. And then it's like he knows. Anyway.
It's code.
But yes. All right, everyone, thanks for listening. Hey, hit me up if you ever want to be on. If you want to record yourself, let's do it. And then $25 a half an hour for those types of...
Not a half hour, a half hour.
A real half hour. Appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for listening. Hit up all of the podcast sponsors in one night. I double dog dare you. Thank you to Mark for being on and helping me with this, as well as thanks for Homer coming on. We're going to record one more. This one's going to be kind of that floaty one where we're going to have it out there somewhere.
Nice.
And we'll definitely have Homer back again.
One more thing. If anybody wants to PM, like personally message me, anybody that they want me to name drop,
no,
I can name drop him, and then you get a free beer from Travis when you call him out in public.
These are all wrong. These are all wrong. Do not listen to him when he does his own podcast.
I'll set you up, dude. I'll get you that free beer, bro.
All right. Thanks so much for listening.
To the greatest of the greatest. A podcast that you never knew you needed. With interviews from people you have never met, or maybe you have once or twice. Asking questions and knowing more than you want to know about them. You are listening to Full Buddy Cast.